Welcome back, everyone, to ESL 1 Katowice. It is time for game number 4. It's just around the corner between VICI and VIRTUS.PRO. We have two questions to answer right now. Is VIRTUS.PRO about to take their second ever ESL 1 and another major as well? Or can VICI Gaming hold on to take us all the way to game number 5? I'm pretty sure I know the answer to that in terms of what we'd like as a panel. I think we'd all like a game 5, wouldn't we?
Yeah, not too many reverse sweeps in DOTA.
No, we were trying to hunt through them a little bit. There's no majors where it's happened, where they were 2-0 down and then went to 3. I'm sure there's some. I just can't rack my brain and find them. There's a deep pool of events over the last 8-9 years.
Well, I'm sure our friends on social media will be willing to help us out. Yeah, but numbers-wise, that breaks a 7-game win streak, personally, for Ramses on Brood. And as you pointed out, I think earlier in an intro, VP had not lost with the Broodmother since the Summit 4 in December 2015. They're actually 35-5 as a franchise when picking the Broodmother. So a little bit of a YOLO pick there, but I think they'll be back strong in game 4.
Yeah, I think most of the attention now turns to VICI, doesn't it? I mean, they've still got a lot of work to do to get back into this game, and I don't know what that game 3 does for them in terms of draft mentality. Does it help them? Does it hurt them? What does it do?
I still feel they're at a draft disadvantage going into this game 4. Other than that, not sure what they're going to change up here. Terrorblade is a tough hero to beat.
Yeah, and they shut. And I pick up on the point we made before that last game: is could they play Terrorblade? That was one of the questions VIRTUS.PRO were posing to them by almost baiting it out. Really, the answer is categorically they can. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I think the hero is like one of the be-all end-all of carries of right now, and you had one of those lineups where VP had to play this super high execution where they had to pressure all these towers into Jakiro. They needed to be able to get this Broodmother who took over the map to be able to limit a lot of the farm from VICI Gaming. You don't have a strong laning phase, or you don't have a good enough laning phase, and that's going to fall apart.
Yeah, interesting. This is interesting to me because I really thought that VP would stick to their guns. They are worried about the tempo control of this KATOWICE, and as a result, they're going to give VICI Gaming what has been a signature hero for Lanham in the Elder Titan.
I think it was also that KATOWICE basically off-laned for long periods of that game, would just go there and blast the carry. So the carry just is constantly harassed. It's something we've seen with dual off-lanes. This was a support doing it, just lowering his HP and making his life harder.
Well, game 4 and Jaro 4.
Which is not super surprising.
Not really.
I thought that VP would maybe change it up a bit because they're technically their Chen Gyro.
Radiance ban.
A big part of that.
I mean,
Dyer's ban. Radiance ban.
Jakiro potentially, rather than. I mean,
They
it didn't do bad, did it, in the game?
It didn't do bad.
Dyer's ban.
Okay as an offlane because he has really high base strength. He has lots of magic damage harass. He can push
Radiance ban. Dyer's pick.
Like Cap pointed out on the previous panel.
And it doesn't enable the gyro either.
Yeah, and he's good at harassing TB.
They needed to be able to get this Broodmother who took over the map to be able to limit a lot of the farm from VICI Gaming. You don't have a strong laning phase, or you don't have a good enough laning phase, and that's going to fall apart.
Yeah, interesting. This is interesting to me because I really thought that VP would stick to their guns. They are worried about the tempo control of this KATOWICE, and as a result, they're going to give VICI Gaming what has been a signature hero for Lanham in the Elder Titan.
I think it was also that KATOWICE basically off-laned for long periods of that game, would just go there and blast the carry. So the carry just is constantly harassed. It's something we've seen with dual off-lanes. This is a support doing it, just lowering his HP and making his life harder.
Well, game 4 and Jaro 4.
Which is not super surprising.
Not really.
I thought that VP would maybe change it up a bit because they're technically their Chen Gyro got beat, but KATOWICE was a big part of that.
I mean, but it was the other side of that equation. It was the Jakiro potentially, rather than. I mean, it didn't do bad, did it, in the game?
It didn't do bad. Jakiro is okay as an offlane because he has really high base strength. He has lots of magic damage harass. He can push towers, but he doesn't do as well in the mid game, like Cap pointed out on the previous panel.
And it doesn't enable the gyro either.
Yeah, and he's good at harassing TB. That's why they grabbed him. Yeah, viable harassing TB and taking towers.
I just want to see. I don't think VP. I don't think you pick up the Terrorblade here first phase, but you got to think at least a little about it because man, oh man, it's going to get banned out in the second phase by VP. That's what I'm waiting for. Is this a TB pick? And it is! All right. I love it.
All right, they've moved it up the draft. They know they were going to get. They know that they were not going to get it in the second phase.
So I find the ET pick interesting because it does give lane pressure, much like Tusk, but it's less gank and more just like punch them until they die kind of stuff, which can work very well against Chen. But it's kind of curious to me. Do you guys have any ideas why they changed it up? Maybe to protect against a TB pick from VP?
No, Why? Why the Elder Titan?
Why open Elder Titan, not Tusk?
Because I think AT is a better hero for you. I think it's more of a lane stabilizer than anything else. I think they're going to try and match the aggression that Chen gives you in the off lane with an Elder Titan of their own. They're going to enable Old 11. And other than that, I think he's probably the much stronger team fighter.
Definitely.
He's just a comfort pick for Lanham, too. I mean, Lanham's 8-2. It's their most picked hero in 2018 so far, and he was one of the ones that was experimenting with it before a lot of pros noticed it in this meta. And I think, yeah, the synergy with the TB is great. Just gives you that. The sleep can be a pause button in the middle of the team fight for the TB to get Sunder off. Obviously, if Elder Titan can get on top of you and TB's meta, you're just going to go down incredibly hard.
Yeah, they panned this ET with so many different cores, too.
Plus, they also didn't ban him. That's probably the main reason.
Yeah, but the big thing, I think, okay, so VICI's going to ban the Tinker, which is step one, because we know, based on yesterday, that no one's Tinker is incredible. But the adjustment I expect for VP coming out in the second phase of the draft is just to get a lot of disable to deal with that Terror Blade, both AoE and single target, just to make sure that he's not so free at being able to get off the Sunder in the middle of those fights.
Alan, correct me if I'm wrong, but
yes, sir?
VICI Gaming haven't played Viper. Right?
No, I do not believe so. I can look at that. No, VICI Gaming, as far as I'm aware, nope, have not played Viper in 2018.
Nope. They last played it 4 months ago in one game, which was at DOTA Pit, and before that, July 2016.
Paul with the history, look at this.
I'm kind of bullish on the hero right now, but...
You're what?
I'm kind of bullish on the hero right now.
I am very much bullish. Yes.
Because of the fact they're facing up against a gyrocopter, most of the other space creators have been taken out. Maybe they do like flop or something.
But I actually really like the Tiny here by VP. Just again, you want the combination of really AoE disable even better than single target disable in some ways against the Terror Blade, because you just create this zone in the fight where if you can make sure TB can't move freely around, he's no way he's going to get his Sunder off now.
Disruptor provides it a lot better than Tiny. Tiny's more of like a burst hero, but obviously comboed together, it's still very useful.
Yeah, I actually think that the combination of the Avalanche and Toss is actually underrated as disable as well.
Beastmaster off lane is still out there. Bat Rider is still out there. Bat Rider against Tiny is a little annoying, but it's still fine. It's like you stick an napalm and fire him instead.
I know it kind of sucks right now. It hasn't really been picked much. But VIRTUS.PRO like running the Darkseer. The Tiny.
Okay, so...
But it's been a while. Been a couple of months.
Darkseer is a Pasha hero. It's also a very high variance hero for VP. That was one of the heroes that they ran him a lot when he first joined the team, and he was moving over to the offlane role. And he still is a little bit up and down on that Darkseer.
In fact, did they play him earlier this tournament? They did. They played one against VICI in this series.
I feel like it'd be way too all in. They'd be reliant on either Tiny carry with Gyro or Tiny off lane with Gyro. They would get out carried at some point, I feel. Unless they did really, really well in the laning stage.
Yeah, the last time they played it was a few days ago. It was against VICI. And it was paired with a Tiny and a Disruptor.
Yeah, I heard me some Underlord. I was gonna...
Yeah, I'd have liked that hero a lot.
You want some sustain, I think, for just a little bit more, because VP are so focused on being able to get that initial kill. That's why I liked Viper. DK is kind of an equivalent in that regard, just that he is a hero that will not die.
5 seconds.
VG's counter push is way worse this game than the previous one. They still could try to do some cheesy-ish super push thing.
Well, it's part of why I like the Beastmaster. I think he gives you that extra aspect of lane. And together with the Breathe Fire, I think that gives you enough to take last. And that also sets your lanes up nicely. Ori, Dragon Knight.
You think they might be able to take an Enigma?
VICI? Yes, but I think again you start then worrying about the cooldown reliance. I mean, Terrorblade and Dragon Knight are not heroes that want to have to wait for Black Hole to be up.
The only thing I like about it is that it gives you disable versus the Tiny, but I would be inclined.
Tide would do that too.
I would be inclined.
What do you want?
I was actually thinking about
First P.
Yeah, I actually think Tide fits both ways.
I feel less so on VICI Gaming because of the Disruptor.
Yeah, okay. I just still think Beastmaster is really, really good.
And I think DK already fulfills that purpose. The stand front hero. I think the faster play Batrider is
coming back for the bat.
Yeah, and it's sort of just a more popular, it's a single target disabler that VICI are a lot more comfortable with. The only thing I worry about now is the potential for VP to pick a laning matchup that
10 seconds
potentially really punishes the Batrider.
I feel like they need way more damage on VP side. Like,
5 seconds.
So much more.
Now, like, because the Tiny is so flexible, I feel like you could like pick a Lifestealer or a Weaver or something, just crushes the bat in lane. Okay, Pugna is... I don't know about this, guys.
Pugna, so where does the Tiny go then?
It's
Pugna versus the Terrorblade,
Yeah,
Pugna versus the DK. These are all pretty good things.
Okay.
Yeah,
no. It's the two laning matchups that are favorable.
Okay. All right. We're gonna have to get your predictions very quickly. So we'll use 2 letters: VP or VG.
Who's first?
Yeah, I went first 2 times in a row.
All right. I'm gonna go VICI.
I was gonna do VICI.
I'll go VP.
All right. Okay. Split decision here on the panel, 2-1. Reminder for you, it is 2-1 right now to VIRTUS.PRO. Let's find out who takes game number 4 with a quick reminder on the way to the stage of the Mercedes-Benz MVP.
Game 4, VIRTUS.PRO going up against VG Gaming. Can we get to a Game 5? Is this draft going to be enough? Wonderful blend of initiation, VG, and of course, they got the Terrorblade in their lineup up against VIRTUS.PRO. Early rotations, blasting through the Pugna, the Gyrocopter, one of the most picked up heroes in this tournament. And then, of course, Tossme, Tiny, for Pasha. How do you feel about it, Fogs? The panel were only semi split because Cap just wanted to be different. How do you feel?
Cap just wanted to pick the opposite of Nahaz, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. That's why he didn't want to go first.
Well, that's the best way to win, right?
I believe so. Love you, Alan. Just kidding. He's going to be so mad now. I think VICI's got a really strong draft again. I think VP, they do have a bit of a timing window. They're looking to close the game out before this Terrorblade gets massive. I think that's why they picked up this Pugna. It's either that or they just trying to have a really big advantage coming out into the mid game versus this draft. They don't want to take it too late without that advantage.
Solo's timing. Scattered out this aggressive maneuver from VG Gaming. 11. He's actually the man with the ward, so hilariously enough, for the heroes that got scouted out, none of them were carrying the ward. It was the Batrider who went a long way to the left to plant down a ward, which doesn't block, it's purely a rotational watch.
Like how VICI's playing as that unit. Just don't want to get caught out by some level 1 smoke rotation.
Interesting to see how their off lane goes too. Like you're running an ET plus, you're running the DK in a bit, so it's ET as well as Batrider. How is Solo even meant to try and work against this lane? Doesn't seem like many heroes can actually try and zone out an ET as well.
One of the approaches is making sure that you can constantly pull the lane back and to watch out so that they don't stack that hard camp. That's one of the best approaches versus Elder Titan, is block that camp so you can't just abuse the Elder Titan spirit. That has to start adding up a bit too much. They're just trying to secure Ramsey's farm a lot in this game. I think that's what they're most trying to go for.
Yep.
Top. Chen does. Home.
Just split up the wave as much as you can. Make life difficult for Paparazzi. And Fenrir, the Witch Doctor. This time he gets to be defensive on the top lane to battle against Roger. Witch Doctor, a great hero against any kind of Chen army. How do you feel this mid lane actually plays out too? Like we had basically just like we thought it was going to be a straight matchup in the earlier games. Obviously it was a little bit different with Ori's Puck. How does Ori get control over no one in this game?
It's a Dragon Knight is the thing. So you are able to just farm after a bit. Pugna wins by a little bit of a margin, but after a couple levels inside the Dragon Blood and you just keep bringing out a couple sustain, you're actually able to do pretty fine versus Pugna is what I've realized. It's unless like the Pugna gets the double null too early and you just start getting really harassed back by the pressure of the blast and the right clicks. But for the most part, yeah, Dragon Blood starts kicking in and you're okay.
And they're really trying to keep Ram farm down. So far, it's been decently successful.
Ramsey's got to be careful here. He's got a lot of stacks on him. They've even leveled up the Flame Break.
Oh, and the Stomp is going to hold him back. Yep, there's the Flame Break. Push him in closer. Yeah. Ramsey, so much damage. Even the dot effect would be enough. And Lanham, he wants to go more. He's hitting with plus 48 damage.
Don't think he expected the Flame Break build this time around.
I was kind of joking about it the other night, talking about Flame Break against Broodmother. Like, you get sticky napalm stacks that just throw out the Flame Break, but in this case,
better versus those heroes that you want to walk into, like those Terrorblades, like those Gyrocopters. If you walk into them, sometimes you can just die to the barrage and to the homing missile, but from a distance, you just use that Flame Break and you're perfect fine.
Well, with it, bounties get to be picked up as bottles get shared. Even an illusion rune. It's 11's bottle that Lanham is currently carrying for this. The sustain on the bottom lane now becomes a lot better. Yeah. ET interrupts not only any kind of pull that Solo attempts, but he's already got that camp on the side lane stacked up.
They're going to try to keep that one getting stacked so that the ET can have such a presence.
Goodbye, Paparazzi. Paralyzing cast from Fenrir couldn't do enough. The Harpy bringing in the deeps, combining with Pasha's only 1-1 combination, but the Penitent Man did not pass.
He's used a lot of the chain lightnings already. He's used 4, so it's quite a lot of damage being punched out. 140 initial for them. 506.
Now he brings a new creep. Yep. Let the Hellbear do the work.
And he's got level 3. They can keep that. They can push a lot on top.
Yep, Lanham. Well, he's locked inside the kinetic field of Solo. Ramsey's had 5 stacks of sticky napalm on him, but he's also starting to build up more one charges. Yeah. Makes these ganks a little bit harder. This middle lane should go a little bit harder towards Ori now. Got the 2 points up in Dragon Blood, but now he's got the Soul Ring available, so he just starts spilling damage into no one who's completely out of consumables.
Yeah, it's a pretty much dead even lane though. Both just gonna Soul Ring spam each other.
Yep. But no one doesn't have enough life. He's actually having to go all the way back to base, so Ori's actually forced him out for now.
Good old Dragon Knight.
Yeah. How do you have sustain in lane? Well, I skill E twice.
Soul Ring and Magic, 1-2. Can't forget.
So much regeneration.
And Lanham's just constantly be tanking 11's bottle and just picking up those bounty runes, now grabbing an Invis.
Going again up on the top. Avalanche top. Penitence is out, but Fenrir's paralyzing cask makes life a little bit more difficult. As Chen, the clap is there, catching both. Fenrir's heal. It's enough.
It's just enough.
Voodoo Restoration level 1.
Mid lane.
They'll be able to heal up with the salve, and yep, mid lane they get the stomp off. Pugna only just came back to this part. Got a creep wave right behind him. Won't punch in any harder. Lanham just showing that he doesn't have to sit on bottom lane all the time. 11, quite strong where he is.
They don't want to leave the Batrider alone because he's at risk of dying.
But here comes the ET. Spirit is down, looking for the Stompers onto Ramses. The Stomp will come, even though the Glimpse pulls him away. Fenrir dies in the meantime to Pasha, but then the burn. Ramses is able to kill off 11. It's the Firefly that does the rest of the work as Lanham wants to keep the chase going onto Solo. No plus damage at the moment. Puts the Spirit out into the Stomp. Holds him there for the second and actually puts the Spirit into the creeps. So he's going to have that extra bonus plus 111 extra damage for Lanham. But he won't chase down. The Gyrocopter is back. Avalanche once more.
Both safe lanes are getting pressured quite heavily. Paparazzi farming just a bit better than Ramses, but Ramses did pick up kill. Fairly even early game. 1k lead at the moment for VP.
Where they would like to be. They're Pugna. It's #1 in the CS at the moment. As far as net worth goes, Pugna, DK, Tiny, then the Terrorblade. Something that VG Gaming will have to change around. But having that early farm on the Batrider is definitely going to help enable it. Especially if he can take this stack.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it too. It's, you know, you have the other Titan who's using the Astral Spirit and putting a lot of pressure in your lane, but then it's also that that backup for 11 to get that farm.
Oh, no one. He's draining out the DK Dragon Form, quickly popped off. No one wants to keep fighting this one. If that's really going to work, however, but maybe it will. Spirit doesn't get the stomp off. No one. He's far enough away. Trevor 5 blast, but DK's happy with this. Still got a lot of one charges up his sleeve.
It's really cool how they're just pretty much strictly using the bottle on Lanem. Even though 11 has bought it, he's had it the entire time, picking up all these bounties and running it mid.
Yep. Because he brings the regeneration into the lane, so he's more like this is now how you bottle run, using the bounty runes to their full extent. Flame break. There's your stomp. Perfect. You do have a glimpse back, pulling 11 away, and well, there needs to be more damage. Paparazzi's gonna fall, and there is enough damage to actually reach the gyrocopter. He's back behind the tower, getting the heal up. I don't know if Solo really wants to play with this. The homing missile will connect on the Bat Rider, but yeah, they're not doing anything.
Pasha's getting so much action in this top lane with the combination of the the toss and avalanche combo, but it's really the penitence that's making the difference to be able to burst down Paparazzi before they can actually distance themselves. That very squishy Terrorblade early.
The dive is going not onto the tower fully. Lanham knows he can't tank that damage, but put the Spirited Set on top of Ramses. Go for the stomp, can't create enough space. 11. He falls, Ramses, he might be in trouble, needs more damage from Lanham, but no one gives the life to the gyrocopter. Medak!
Very clutch TP. I do think they would have gotten Ramses.
Into the Centaur stomp, the penitence is down once again. You're almost like making a makeshift blink dagger onto the Centaur Conquerors. Roger, he's burning inside the Firefly. The send back is there, so Tiny can be sent away to safety. They just want to try and clean up this Chen army. Yeah, Paparazzi needs some space.
He does. He's level 5, while the gyrocopter is already level 6 on the way to phase drums. We could see Ramses get very active once he regens up.
This game feels a lot closer than at least the first two. Even the third one, it was just swinging the opposite direction, but
Pasha's going to be a pretty big problem for VICI. Majority of their heroes are burstable with this Tiny, and he's on that way to that Blink Dagger very early on. They actually just decided to swap the lanes up completely. Paparazzi's not getting good farm.
Ori comes down to the bottom lane as well with Paparazzi. Maybe on the back of the Metamorphosis, which is up in 2 seconds time, they can get a little bit more push behind him. They're only halfway through the duration of the DK form.
This is going to give space to no one to start pressuring down that mid tower too, so it's a little bit of that trade-off coming out.
That's why Lanham's there.
And VP, they're smoked up though. They're looking to punish Lanham.
TP's coming. Gyrocopter. Call down's available. Here it comes. Only one point up with the flag cannon, but if they can get enough of the slope, Solo can get the glimpse. He's looking for a target, and that's why VG stand their ground. Sunder is available.
Oh, look at this. VP's actually not going for mid. They're letting no one do that one, and they're moving all the way bottom with the Chen and Tiny. This could catch VICI off guard.
Especially considering VG are committing to bring down the tier 1 tower. There's no Dragon Form. Metamorphosis only got 1/3 of his duration left. And okay, new Centaurs available. There's your glimpse. Pulling Ori in deep to the missile. Is buying time for them to get them to commit. VP, they're coming in with the army from the Chen. The average is perfect. The Centaurs even better so. Fenrir to the trees, but it's not safe. Their bite is worse than the bark.
Wow, that was such an absurdly smart movement there. They recognize that they don't need it. They don't actually need to help no one or get this kill on the other Titan. He's not a priority. If they can get the kills on those 3 heroes bottom, that long rotation, they smoked top and ran all the way across the map to get there.
Such great play.
That is such smart decision making.
The fact they're able to get the glimpse too, it commits them into the fight. 11.
And another one.
Here's another glimpse into the 3 Centaur lineup here from Roger. He took that extra Centaur from the stack that ET provided, the stack which is now into the hands of Ramses. He's farming up the entire thing, so even that catch-up money isn't available for VG. Not even catch-up, it's the blink money for the Bat Rider, which is now in the hands of the gyrocopter. And the bonus money for the ET.
Now they've got phase drum on gyro too. And like we said, BP, they want to play very active with their lineup. They want to try to claim all these tier 1s early on, get early kills, get that big advantage so they don't have to worry about this Terrorblade. And they're not making Paparazzi have a fun time at all. 3,400 net worth.
So we watch this again.
You see him grab the 3rd Centaur as well.
So the glimpse comes in, VG commit, caught inside the kinetic field, and there's just no way to get out of this.
More than enough damage comes in with that over-level Tiny plus Penitence.
That point when you wonder, like, if you're going to defend your tier 1 tower, you say to yourself, it's like Tribute to Wings. How many minutes are we in, and how many heroes are on top of this damn tower? Again, they go Paparazzi.
He doesn't have a home. He wants to play around bottom because now they are aware that this Pasha Tiny has a Blink Dagger already at 11 minutes in the game. He has to find somewhere to farm. He has to pretty much resort to jungle and wait for 11 to get Blink and make plays for him. He is in a heavy amount of trouble getting... He's in burst. He's in burst region for the Tiny.
Roger's coming to the top now. He's bringing his army with him. Last time they did this, they tossed a Centaur. There are now four Centaurs for Roger.
They're waiting for it.
Yep, there she goes.
One.
Yep. ET Stomp, however, will create a little bit of extra space, potentially, as Pasha's already blinked in. The Centaurs are just charging forward. Off to the side, the ET Splitter is nice. Lanham was being drained down, but Fenrir tries to turn this fight around a little bit more as Solo. He does go down underneath the tower. Ramses and Pasha, they're just so strong. The DK can't survive. Lanham has to put them to sleep. Chipped it one hit away. Fenrir will claim it. It's worth it for the turnaround. Fenrir actually gets 424 gold for this kill.
They kind of have to take these fights, even if they don't want to, versus this lineup of VP, because they know how fast they're playing, but they have to make space for Paparazzi. You see he just goes bottom again, even though his team's fighting top. He recognizes he's way too far behind in order to take these engagements versus the lineup at the moment.
Yeah, get him the money for the Dragon Lance, actually get him some level of money so he can survive in the engagements.
He just needs to be able to survive the burst. He's sitting at 780 HP when he's on Agi Charge, and they see him. Pasha is aware of this right now.
Good dire observer. Leave an illusion behind, potentially Pasha. Okay, he doesn't commit. Instead, okay, well, a quick little glimpse. Solo trying to keep Ori off his back, but there's more support. The Flame Break keeps Solo in nice and close.
Having that defensive high ground vision there.
Yep.
This should pretty much be Paparazzi's home, I think, for the next good while they try to make plays on the other heroes. They've got the Blink Dagger on the Bat Rider, and they're getting closer and closer to Shadow Blade on Ori.
They're actually looking for Pasha? Yeah, the dire are scanning, they're checking the trees. 11 was hoping he'd be able to close the distance, but Pasha now shows on the bottom lane. Very, very difficult kill to latch, especially when you don't have lasso. But when the Shadow Blade's up for the Dragon Knight, this may be a little bit more possible.
Yeah, they can still make plays around the map, but it's kind of the same rule. They want to be playing mostly S4 while Paparazzi gets online.
It's smoke gang time. The Observer Ward's sitting further up in the lane. We'll watch where the Bat Rider is going to retreat. But already 11 is retreating out.
I don't think VP should slow down by any means with this advantage, with this Blink Dagger on Tiny.
11. He can't walk into him. There's the smoke pop. Does he get the Firefly off? His Blink is currently on cooldown. He holds his Firefly and gets glimpsed back down again. The Decrepify, Drain, and the Toss. So much amplification.
They can turn this into a tower push too.
Yep.
Clean smoke.
Not certain how VG hold this. ET can slow it down. That is one of the big advantages of just that having that spirit on the front lines. Never puts him in any kind of peril. And thanks to the dire Observer Ward, they see Solo coming in. Fenrir commits. Solo has to burn his Storm. Roger wants to follow up as well, but they've already done the send back on Solo. Probably fearing that he was going to be heavily initiated on. Pasha. From behind.
Radiant's top.
You wonder, VG. Kind of want to kill off that nether wall before they fight. Not to mention it's decent cash. There's the sentry ward, so Observer. The VG is lost. They've lost that bonus vision, but they're ready to fight onto the tower. Blink Lasso is available. At the same time, Pasha ready to jump in through the rear. He found the ET in the back lines, copping off Fenrir too. The wall is perfect. Ori and 11, they can't go anywhere. They must stand their ground, which they cannot do. Too much strength. VIRTUS.PRO. It's a double kill for Ramses. He took the tower in the middle, all of it too. This is creating space for Terrorblade, but at what cost?
Pasha and Roger there were so patient, just waiting to see both supports. They know that the only way that they can actually get turned on in that fight is if the other Titan gets a perfect counter initiation.
And that did not happen at all.
It did not.
They read the position right, but even need Observer Wards to know it.
I think they're reading a little bit of how VICI wants to play the game, is taking those fights as 4, so they're even heavily emphasizing putting the wards around that bottom, that triangle that we like to call. And they're keeping that pace up. Yep, they should keep doing. 8k gold lead now for them after all that. And it's almost a Shadow Blade finished on top of Tiny. Ramses is queued up with BKB.
VG's coming to fight. They're smoked up. Their initiation is still paralyzing Cask and Lasso, so These are the critical abilities to watch at the beginning of the fights.
They've got to play around their one ward that they have on the bottom side of the map. So they're looking to try to get a pick off here.
Well, they're coming in. They'll have to go into the Firefly. No one's underneath the tier 1 tower. They're all really close to VP, and this is the reason why they are coming for a fight.
They don't really have any ulti cooldowns. That's the big thing for their team. It's really only Static Storm. On comparison, VICI really relies on having everything, the Elder Dragon form as well as that lasso, to take those fights.
Well, 11 as well as Ori are going to reveal themselves on bottom. Firefly, they also reveal as being burnt, so VP, wisely, they're not going to find a kill. They'll find a Roshan. Large amount of creeps going inside the pit, but there's no real vision, but look who's coming over. The ET Spirit is on its way, but the timing of it, it's going to walk into Roshan. The stop timing will be really nice, because it's right on the edge of Roshan's death. But the Aegis Immortal is already in the hands of Ramses.
This is what Chen always gives you. The opportunity to just go straight into the Roche pit, and with the medallion build that people have been doing and max penitence, you kill Roche so quickly that it's very difficult to contest when you're ahead.
Lanham, I just want to see him use some of that damage. He's got plus 360 damage because of the Spirit into Roshan.
Yeah, he went for the 2-4-1 build. He wanted to just stay in their faces. I've seen Lanham do this several times.
So we see just how hard VP want to push it. You got Pasha up on the top, still working on the Shadow Blade.
They're in a little bit more of that relaxed pace now, though, because they've gotten this Aegis. They have a clear advantage. They've taken all the tier 1s. They have great vision down on the map to watch VICI's movements, so they can take it a little easy and get those BKBs, get those next big items finished before they look to get those pickups again.
But this is still buying time. Paparazzi has his Dragonlance plus the Yasha. He's becoming a little bit more formidable for the fights. So a good Sunder can turn this around.
He needs BKB to get in those fights, though, versus VP.
Yep.
Now with the Shadow Blade, they can start looking for a pickoff.
He needs to just stop being like avoid being chain stun or burst damage down.
Yeah.
All of which would happen if Solo can catch him inside of the wall.
They just caught a glimpse of Pasha from 11 on the high ground.
11. 1 second till blink. Firefly up. There's your blink lasso. They found Solo. The ET Spirit. It moves forward just to create a bit of a buffer.
They brought everybody thinking that VP was going to respond with a fight there. They actually pop Elder Dragon form too.
Yeah, instead, they hold the hand of the god. Chen is farming up top, moving towards that Aghanim Scepter. With lasso down, now the initiation of VG is not that strong. Because it's the Blink Dragon Tail, right? But you're also burning Dragon form. Well, under the sentry. Pasha, they can see him. That's gonna be so juicy to try and go for.
They don't have a good way to catch him now. They kind of need VP to play out of position. VP, I do believe they can actually just go for a play here now. With this Aegis, they can wait for the BKB though on Ramsey since it's very close. But now that they know that Lasso is on cooldown and Dragon Form is on cooldown, they can take advantage.
Where are you off to, Pasha? The mid lane when no one is.
Right now, VP does not actually have any wards on the map, but that's probably going to be their next move. Just get some vision around and then they can play around it better. Yeah, they're totally blind.
You got Knobs and Sentry on Solo, but only one of each.
He wanted to finish up his Urn this time on Solo. He usually is more of that strict warder, but getting an early Spirit Vessel, getting an early Urn is very good versus those Blink Daggers on the side of VICI.
Giving the light to Ramsey so he can just tank that tier 2 tower.
Yeah, they've got all their items now online. The BKB's coming on the courier. The next one is just no one's BKB. And that's going to limit VICI's way to really kill him, because their only physical damage at this point is really Paparazzi, and he does not want to fight until BKB.
11's going to have a nicer item for the next fight. He's now got his full Force Staff.
Okay.
But they got the ability to like drag back a lot deeper. This makes life difficult for VP when they want to push high ground. A lot of defense. Obviously, not first Aegis is only about taking out of towers. The VG need to make something work for this, and that's exactly what they're doing. They come back as 4. Smoke up, find an opportunity. This won't be the first time they've tried this. The Observer Ward, Ramsey's going to get rid of this right now.
They want to play around the vision.
That aggressive vision they've lost.
Yeah. All of VP is coming now toward the area too.
All right, so everyone's blind. No one sees anything with the Observer Wards. So 11 needs to take to the skies and get some information. They have the Gyrocopter in the lane, so blink, lasso, and then pull back. ET Spirit in the neighborhood too, but the homing missile is going towards 11. He gets 4-staffed up, but now glimpsed back and drained. This is not the fight that VG needed to have happen. Forstaff gets revealed, Smoke gets burnt, and VG are the one bearing their dead.
They're just still trying to get Paparazzi online. They were trying to get a quick pick off there with that one ward that they did have in that aggressive position, but unable to find it. VP too quick to make the moves. And now they can threaten this bottom tier 2. Aegis is still on them for about 30 seconds.
More than enough time for a tier 2 tower to drop. Paparazzi knows they're not going to force up too high. Actually, then again, does he? He doesn't have a TP scroll showing himself on that top lane. If VP feel aggressive enough, they can probably keep this push going without Paparazzi being involved.
They can force him back. He goes and buys that TP. But yeah, he doesn't have it still.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. The line is being drawn right now by Solo. We contain them here. We hold the line here.
They know he's not farming on the right side of the map by any means, so they have to assume that he's inside of that jungle area. Aegis does get reclaimed. He gets a ward in the back lines, but he does get grabbed. Solo pulls to the base.
Yep, that's a nice pick off.
Slain.
Poor little Solo. He is 5 of the 9 kills of VG Gaming.
He wants to get those wards so they can see the back lines. That's a really important thing for VP's lineup, so they don't get caught out off guard by the Batrider. But I do believe that they did see that ward.
Yeah, they're dewarding it now.
Yeah.
If they get the other Observer ward, then VP go back into exactly the same position as before. They got 1 sentry on Fenrir, so I'm interested to see where he plants it. And he put it on top of the shrine. So, missing the Observer ward. That means VP can at least keep some good information for the bot lane.
They've got the BKB now coming out on Paparazzi. They could look for an engagement with this.
Maybe. Tiny's just sitting there in Viz. 11, Avalanche will catch him. The toss pulling him into Ramses with the Forstaff pushing him away. 11, don't ankle in. Ori jumps in for the Dragon Tail stun. That cooldown's going to be good with the wall. It won't do enough when Paparazzi has his BKB up and running. It's still hurting Ori, but Paparazzi has to stand. Fenrir's nearby. Can he actually help out? Paralyzing Cast is off cooldown. Never even found a chance to use a Death Ward. Now he will. Onto the Ramses, onto the Gyrocopter, the Glimpse. They're pulling Paparazzi back in. He can Sunder, swapping the life with no one, but no one takes it straight back. There is no thievery.
And that was the BKB reveal by Paparazzi. They used Dragon Form as well. They pretty much expended all their ultis. This is time for VP to go high ground. They've got the Chen Aghanim's too.
Oh, this is a great moment for VIRTUS.PRO. They're looking for some kind of opening if they can grab that ET. Obviously, the primary thing is taking out the mid lane of Rax. They can rotate down to the bottom as well.
They definitely get this Rax.
Another 27 seconds before VG are back at full strength. Batrider has the Blink Lasso. To do so, however, he'll have to jump into no one. And now he got it. Pulls him to the tier 4 towers. The Glimpse will break the lasso. Lanham trying to keep them all slept up, but the
BKB by no one.
Holy crap! So much damage. BKB for no one means he can survive everything. The Fire Blast. This may be it. VG, they're falling like flies as VIRTUS.PRO rotate down to the tier 3 tower on the bot. How can VG Gaming mount a defense?
I think VP's done it. I don't think VG can come back from this one either. It's 18k deficit. They're losing a second set already. It's 24 minutes in.
Do they try and just keep pushing though? Like you've still got the tier 2 tower up on top lane, so VP can't just grab Megas here. And they aren't doing this safe.
They can just take kills.
They already broke the first curse, Fenrir. Yep, he'll be one of those kills. Paralyzing Cars can bounce around. And they're going for the tier 4 towers. VIRTUS.PRO want to end this. The Spirit and the Stomp can slow things down. Metamorphs is still on cooldown for 43 seconds, and VIRTUS.PRO, safety first. They're going to back out. They don't want to get caught here.
They've got a lot of gold still to get on the map. They can now take the tier 2, the last tier 2, take the shrines, get those big items that they just got because they just claimed themselves a ridiculous gold advantage throughout all that. All the way up now to 22k gold, 20k experience.
They also know Roshan can spawn up shortly, but he's going to be 2.5 minutes before the spawn time will arrive.
Lost the top tower.
Now they can just keep forcing in the side lanes with these 2 ancient black dragons on the Chen. VICI, they're not in the position to take these head-on fights by any means. Paparazzi, even though he's got that BKB, he's still very susceptible to getting bursted down and getting controlled.
Gonna get control even more. There's 4 staffs on the way. The butterfly rapidly approaching for the gyrocopter.
4 of the highest levels in the game outside of VP.
And now VG will also be fighting blind. A Gem of True Sight picked up by the Chen. They have got so much to work with. And VG, they need a miracle right now. Unfortunately, he's not on their team.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
VP's in an incredibly comfortable position now. 12-2 on Ramsey's gyrocopter. About to have Butterfly finished up too.
Yep.
How can VICI deal with this? They need the perfect fights, and VP is not giving them that by any means.
They kind of need like the Stomper to split, and then the Breathe Fire to actually start like the AoE to start doing some work. Like Witch Doctor, I haven't seen him get a really good Maledict off in an engagement, let alone even use his Death Ward.
He can't walk into the fights versus all this damage. And with just how tanky everybody is. When you have a 25k advantage on these type of heroes, you can just constantly keep running at these supports and not really be at any problem. And like you said, they're waiting for the Roche. 1 more minute, VP's playing it patient.
Yeah. There's way too much on the line to risk and jump in. Ramses versus Paparazzi. The lane creeps can look really equal, but no buildings, kills and assists, it just doesn't exist. Paparazzi, like it's kind of the trade-off, right? You've got the Gyrocopter versus the Terrorblade. Terrorblade, it was just about buying space for him.
Yeah, I mean, Gyrocopter's 12-2. Paparazzi is 0-5.
They're hunting.
How much pressure did VP put on it? That Terrorblade.
Prashan's taking so long. VP have got to be getting like cabin fever right now.
They've got all their wards down to protect it, to watch that area. They could look to pick a fight if VICI makes their way out there.
It's still gonna be so hard for VICI. Like bottom lane's pushing in, mid lane's pushing in. It's gonna be scattered out so early, and they're taking care of the shrine. This is a big safety thing. The 3 Black Dragons will do this anyway. Just can hold the top lane. So Roshan, 2, 1, pop, 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 pop.
There you go.
That timer is inaccurate.
There's that 1 second delay usually between it.
Yeah. Do we go on 3 or do we go on 3? Too easy to kill off Roshan. So Aegis and Cheese for VIRTUS.PRO. The test of VG awaits them.
They've got all the tools to end this game now versus VG. The fights are going to be so impossible for the side of VG Gaming. They need some immaculate lasso coming out from 11, completely displacing VP out of the team fight.
I'm wondering who they even jump, because they can't go Pugner. They gave him the Aegis, the Immortal.
There's not a lot of targets.
If they can somehow grab the Jara and pull him under the tier 4 towers and keep him stunned before that BKB could take effect.
Can they kill him though? He's got 2,000 HP with 22 armor and evasion at this point.
I don't know. Like, we're clutching at straws, right? Like, hey, Chen, you can go for him, but he's got 1,600 HP.
Yeah.
He's got the Solar Grass. He's got 19 armor. Disruptor, I think, is the only kill that's the easier one. And that's why you've seen every single time 11 jump on him. The kinetic field, they're looking for the Batrider. They're looking for 11's aggressive posture. But when that Nether Ward is down, blinking in, getting that initiation, it's so hard, he's in too deep. They need to force off him out. Oh, the glimpse, they're pulling him all the way back inside the base. It's a good Maledict under the Paralyzing Casket's doing work. Paparazzi wants the last bit of damage. Honey being sent back home again. Will he get out? No, he won't. He'll end up popping. At least that's something for VG Gaming. Ramses stands his ground. He's got the cheese available. Wait, he didn't get it off. He'll go down too. The ET splitter. It's about to kick hard. But where are the cores for VG? They don't exist. Only the supports. Fenrir trying to fight Paparazzi. He'll buy back into the game now. Roger has a triple kill with his Black Dragons. Finally, that is being ended. Vital Anim, the ET Spirit, to the front lines. They must defend hard. Where is that stomp? No one just sits above it. All who sits below it. They haven't got the racks just yet. They just keep Nether Blasting. Remember, no one has the Aegis of the Immortal. He's happy almost if he dies. The reflection, it won't be enough. It brings him low. Actually, yeah, it will be. The Aegis pops. But the tier 4 tower is under attack. Paparazzi must deal with this. Batrider is back to the world of living. Lasso is up. And maybe now it's time for VP just to retreat a little bit. You see that aggressive TP, 11. He needs that Blink Lasso, but he knows he can't Firefly forward. Not until that Nether Ward is gone. And this allows VP to back out.
They perfectly CC'd the Gyrocopter before able to get Cheese off after the BKB fell off of him. But VP now, everybody's respawning. It's go time again. The lanes are all pushed in. They can just run straight toward top and go for this end.
They did at least prove. VG proved they can kill people.
They need absolutely everything to go perfectly for them. And now there's no meta for 60 seconds.
Yep. That's going to be the hardest thing for them. But there's no Aegis the Immortal. The cheese is on Ramses. Thunder can buy time. Lasso can do work. And this DK, thanks to that BKB, Dragonforce is coming off cooldown as well. Like, it felt like Ari was actually a real hero in this fight. Fenrir for the first time as well. Paralyzing Casket Maledict. That was what was doing the work against the Tiny.
It was really important that Lanem lived throughout the entire fight. Having that Elder Titan boosts all your damage, and that's exactly what they need to be able to take any fights versus VP.
They're coming again.
27k gold advantage.
They got double catapult wave. Blink Lasso is up, but Firefly wears off. No one again putting down that Netherboard. Sitting on the front lines, Ori's into Dragonfall. Blink's done forward. They're looking towards the partner. The call down. Oh, and only get a clip on Ori. He's still got enough life. 15-1 charge. They turn around. The cheese burned by the gyrocopter. Fortification from VG. Keeping that Rax intact for the moment. The Black Drag is becoming a hell of a buffer.
The tier 4s are into the creeps now, though.
A problematic Solo up in the trees. He jumped in forward. Now they're going to see if they can get something more. He's offensively stormed. The ET splitter is good. Pasha controlled on the front lines, but he's sent back by the Chen, and Solo can just force staff down the hill and away. You are right about the tier 4 towns. There's only one of them left at 190 HP. VP continue just to knock on the door.
They know the BKB from the Dragon Knight was expended, and also the Dragon Farm is almost down. They've almost finished off that last Rax for Venom.
Yeah, Ori, he's making the most out of it. Jump in, they need to kill off the partner, the Deathborn. Fenrir helping to do so, even over to Roger. The Ghost Head will keep him alive for now. Buyback from the partner, wants to come back quickly. The Glimpse, it's gonna pull Ori back all the way in. Mass buybacks are coming in. VG Gaming, it's all down now to the Rax. It's all down to the Dire Ancient. The Megas are already up, and maybe they can find something. Paralyzing cast bouncing around. They're focusing on the Gyro with Lasso as well. The wall is keeping VG contained, not to mention the life from no one. The full-time medic, Roger, he needs to do more work, but VG, they're surrounding him. They'll bring him down. They're still being surrounded. The Megas are arriving. The creeps are too strong. VG Gaming, they just don't have enough life. Paparazzi goes down to Ramsey, and this looks like the game. VG, GG out. VIRTUS.PRO, the first team to get wins twice. And ESL claim first position of the Dota 2 Major here in Katowice.
They just ripped VICI apart in that game. This looked like almost a repeat of the earlier ones too, when they had the Omniant with the gyrocopter as well. They play so well around this gyro, and the amount of
That was some final. I got so excited backstage, I've started to lose my voice. But to see a Dota 2 major here in Poland won by this team was just a great moment for everyone. It's great to see them. Some fireworks going off on stage. Congratulations, guys. Look at you holding the trophy there. Come here, let's have a quick chat. I don't want to say this, but the two Dota 2 majors I've been to, it's been won by VIRTUS.PRO. Talk me through how strong you were there, how you played, why you played the way you did. I chose the wrong man. I know I did. Congratulations, Roger. You talk me through the way you played there.
It was hard way for us. We lost to VICI at group stage, and they did well. We were not prepared at group stage, but now we found some new tactics, you know.
Well, you guys were plowing your own furrow here. You were doing what you wanted to do. It seemed like you had a game plan which was based on your strengths rather than trying to nullify any opponent. Listen, congratulations. Talk me through what it means to have that trophy here in Poland.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. We feel your support. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Listen, it's great to watch, and once again, let's hear it for your ESL 1 Katowice 2018 champions. It is VIRTUS.PRO. Guys, stay there. Because we know that Dota 2 is a team game, but there is always one individual who shines in any tournament, because now it's the rather important moment to find out who is our Mercedes-Benz MVP. And before we do that, let's have a little watch of this. Right then, so before we go any further, if you were here for the opening yesterday, if you're watching the opening on Facebook at any point, you will have known that that trophy got stolen by some creeps, and myself and another person had to go and get it back. That person is about to come on stage now. Please welcome the Crystal Maiden. So as you can see, the Crystal Maiden is bringing out the Mercedes-Benz MVP trophy. Now, I have no idea who's won this because it's just been totted up backstage. So, right then, I know the team where the MVP is from, and that team is VIRTUS.PRO. The player who is the Mercedes-Benz MVP of ESL 1 Katowice 2018, ladies and gentlemen, it's Roger! So Roger is the MVP, the Mercedes-Benz MVP. He gets that rather fabulous trophy and a £50,000, 50,000 euros, sorry, Mercedes-Benz of his choice. He absolutely deserves it. The team deserve to be the major champions here in Katowice. The first one ever in Poland. Time. Let's go bananas for your major champions, and that is VIRTUS.PRO!
There we go then, ESL 1 Katowice 2018 comes to a victorious end for VIRTUS.PRO and for Roger. They win the championship. They become the first ever double ESL 1 champions. They win the major, the first one here at the Spodek Arena. They go top of the DPC points and they clean up on the MVP. I think they might just have claimed everything this afternoon. It has been a fantastic tournament. We're going to recap the final and the final match and talk about the tournament overall with our three panel members once more. Nahaz, Purge, and Capitalist. Alan, we'll start with you. Just brilliant performance from VIRTUS.PRO from start to finish.
Unbelievable. The first ever double ESL 1 champion ends up lifting 2 major trophies in the first time that we've had ESL majors in the DPC, and Roger in his first event with the team is your MVP. Unbelievable play all tournament long. We asked the question, would Roger deliver with that roster change for VP? And the answer is yes.
Why can't other teams do this, Kevin? Everyone else has had a change. Why aren't they playing in the final, winning the trophy?
I don't know. VP's just really good, and they kind of cookie-cuttered out a different player that was at very high skill level, almost the same, maybe better. And they just played super well the whole tournament. Great drafting. Roger definitely deserved that.
Honestly, it's very fitting that VIRTUS.PRO, I think, are the champions here and the first team to be able to claim 2 of these ESL 1s because they have been such steady performers throughout the whole entire year and even last year as well. VIRTUS.PRO, I think, are just such an individually talented team, and then on top of that, team coordination is absolutely world-class. So, VIRTUS.PRO, Roger, such a great addition, man.
Yeah.
I think he definitely deserved that MVP performance. I personally was actually, I voted for no one, but towards the end there, especially in that last game, the way he controlled those dragons, I was like, maybe I should change my vote to Roger because he had insane control there.
Yeah, no, I mean, he had a great final, but that last game very much stood out. They've really thrown themselves into the mix of this secret liquid battle that's been going on seemingly all season. VIRTUS.PRO are now firmly in that battle, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are. I think that we were looking at it and we said, hey, just not so long ago, it was Secret, Liquid, and then VIRTUS.PRO had that change, so we were like, okay, they're probably still top tier, but and then we were kind of talking about Newbie. All of a sudden, boom, Newbie solidifies themselves, absolutely top 4. Then boom, we had VIRTUS.PRO reasserting themselves as, hey, forget about that roster change, boys. We're still on top.
We should give a word to VICI Gaming as well. They've had an absolutely superb tournament, and they've just fallen short again. I can't believe I'm saying this. For the 4th time this season, they've reached a grand final and failed to win against Newbie, Secret, Liquid, and VIRTUS.PRO. That's nothing to be ashamed of, is it?
Exactly. I mean, they've lost to every team in the top 4. And again, I think this is what happens when you get into those finals against world-class teams, that the little flaws in your hero pool and some of your strategies that may have worked against those other teams, they get exposed. But this is you still have plenty of time for TI. This is a great opportunity for growth. And let's just think for a minute. Let's just think about the narratives about this VP team over the last couple of years. Can't win the big tournament, oops, Hamburg. Can't beat EG, oops. I mean, this VP team, we just keep throwing barriers in front of them.
They're just running through them right now. Talking of running through them as well, we've had some very fast plays over the last few days, of course. None more so than the one you're about to see. The Play Faster by Vodafone moment of the day, brought to you by Mr. Nahaz himself, because it's your pick with Miracle.
This was an unbelievable play, and just the presence of mind to do this, right? I mean, Miracle's dead here. He's dead. All right, he's going to run away, and the Seder Hadouken has got him. No, it doesn't. This is Miracle we're talking about, and he lived at the end of this play. Oh, unbelievable.
Nice.
The addition of the dagger thrown on the Sand King prevents a Blink Dagger that was just coming off cooldown as well from Universe, so Universe definitely would have pursued that kill, so it was 2 really cool back-to-back plays.
Yeah, very fast indeed. I'm surprised, actually, the only surprise I've got is that a VIRTUS.PRO player didn't win that one as well, because they've won everything else today. Just final thoughts from the 3 of you, Alan?
I gotta say, I said in many ways that Genting was the beginning of the DPC season for me, that we served notice that this long road to TI finally felt like it was underway. And this tournament to me was the announcement, despite the VP win, which was amazing, it was the announcement that this is not gonna be a coronation party for anybody. It's not gonna be top 4 and nobody else. VICI Gaming and Fnatic showed up at this tournament ready to play, to say this is gonna be a season where everybody's gonna have to earn their way to TI, and we have no idea what happens when they get there. Bring on Bucharest.
I love it.
Yeah, I'll follow that one up. I guess I'll tank this one, Kev. If there's any coronation, I think it's that VP is still going to be one of the best teams for a very long time. There was some doubts occasionally based on their tournament performances, but they swapped a player out. They still played amazing. They adapted to losing conditions. They outdrafted VICI in the end. They are definitely one of the best teams.
Yeah, and while we've solidified that top 4, we can talk about the fact that we still have those up-and-coming teams that we're going to look forward to seeing a lot more in future tournaments. Hey, VICI Gaming made it into the finals. Let's not forget about Fnatic, who performed excellently as well. Seems like Evil Geniuses might be back in the ride. Kinguin had a good performance here as well. I think there are so many teams here represented at this tournament that showed that they are on their way to international as well.
Yeah, all right, good stuff. Thank you very much to all 3 of you. That is it from ESL 1 Katowice 2018. We have come to a close after 6 glorious days of fabulous Dota 2 action. But that is that. It's not the end of the season. There's still plenty more Dota to come over the next few months. But boy, what a ride it's been here in Katowice. So thank you so much to everyone that's come down to the Spodek Arena. Thank you for tuning in online. Thanks to all of our sponsors, all of the people in the background, all of our talent crew, of course, and our observer team and stats people. Thank you so much. It's been a fantastic experience yet again. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you soon.
Get the eye out of the fight. There's a DD though. Oh, that PA's got a DD. You got to dispatch him and quickly. Miracle gets the BKB back out. Jumps onto Envy. This double damage could be the end of Fnatic. They've got to be so scared of this PA right now. Miracle jumping in onto Universe. Gets the kill. Matsumaman trying to hold back up, but Envy's just up into the base, coming with the wraparound. The Shard, they're going to trap up both GH and Matsumaman. It's a triple kill for Arbed. It's an ultra kill. Come on, give that man the rampage. They've got the slow. Arbed's going in. There's the rampage. They want to go for the reinitiate. They know there's no Universe jump in. There's the Sun. Oh, the Sunder zap back.
for that run jumping chrono with the Echo Slam. Roger will catch 2 in the back lines. Even the fidgets on the Paparazzi. They hit the ultimate. They hit the Ice Blast on Orange. He cannot join the fight.